Hey everyone, just want to do a really quick video on a Stamparatus. It's nothing professional. I've actually just made a tiny space on my desk here just to show you what it can do. There's lots of videos out there at the moment looking a lot more professional than mine, but you don't need a professional to use it. You can be like me and have a tiny little space and still be able to stamp, and it's fantastic. So we're talking about the Stamparatus. It's very exciting. Contact me for more information about how to get yours, and I think you're really going to love this for any type of stampers. So I'm just going to switch down to my desk and show you guys what it can do. Okay, so this is the Stamparatus. This is how you store it. The hinges of the two plates go on together, but you don't want to store this one flat with the hinge in, just because it's not meant to do that. It's meant so that you can open this one and stamp this one. So when you're storing it, you just need to have at least one of them not actually in the hinge. So the hinges just slide in so easily. It's beautiful, and you can do it any way you want. I just like one at the top and one at the side, but you can switch it around, whatever you prefer to stamp with. And you get the little foam mat, so that's for the photopolymer stamping. Oh, I'm just checking that my video's right. Yeah. Just the same as if you were going to stamp with your clear blocks with photopolymer stamps. If you stamp it on a foam piece, you're going to get a better result. So normally I use my paper piercer when I'm stamping photopolymer, and when you're using the Stamparatus, they've already included your little foam. Now there's also magnets on the back, so that they store on the back. Now one of my magnets is already broken. They are super strong magnets, and when I took them out the first time I used them, they snapped together really quickly and snapped one of them. So that can be a bit of a problem. But Stampin' Up are going to replace that for me. So first of all, I just want to quickly show you some cardstock. I should have had that ready. Okay, now I've got some cardstock ready to go. First of all, I just want to show you, it's a bit hard with this setup here I've got. Let me just check that's still in camera view. Yes, sorry about the mess on my desk. I've in the middle of doing some, creating some samples for a kit by mail, so I've got stuff everywhere. I just really wanted to show you very quickly how to use the Stamparatus. So this is the set I'm actually using for my kit by mail, and it's a red rubber set, so I don't need my foam. It's actually quite large stamps. You can use, of course, any size stamp on the Stamparatus, but I quite often find when I'm stamping a large stamp, it is a bit hard to get a clean stamp all over. So I just wanted to show you, first of all, just stamping a one layer stamp. So I put my cardstock into the corner. I butt it into the corner here. You don't have to. You could line it up onto your grids, up against the edges, whatever you like. I just like to go there because if it does happen to move when I want to do restamping, I know that it's butted up right in that corner. So I'm going to put a magnet on just in case anyway. But if it does move, it doesn't matter. I know that it goes butted up into that corner. So I'm just going to place my red rubber stamp where I want this to go. The only problem with red rubber is that you can't see through it. So I can't see if that's straight underneath there. So if that's a problem for you, I would suggest just putting some scrap paper down first, putting it down where you think you want it to go, and you just simply press it on like that. Ink it up, stamp it, and if it's not straight, clean it, take it off, do it again until you get it nice and straight. But I'm not going to do that just at the moment. What I'm going to show you is that I've got a large stamp. Sometimes it doesn't stamp right. It even happens with smaller stamps. But my memento is a bit dry at the moment. So I'm just going to ink this up. Here's another tip. Place something underneath the side here when you're inking, simply because it it's higher up here than it is down the bottom, so you get this sort of lean going on, and when you're putting the ink on it, it can get a bit hard. I don't know, it's just, I mean, it gets soft, so you get little sort of little bends, so it gets hard to ink it. So if you just put something underneath here, it just gives you that little bit of straightness, I guess. I told you this is not a professional video. Okay, so I'm just going to ink that up, and then I just fold it over and ink. Now, hopefully you can see that on the video. It hasn't inked it very well. I've got a big patch missing here in the end. There's a lot of stuff missing. So what I can do, ink that up again and stamp again, and it is going to stamp in exactly the same spot. So if you have problems stamping and getting a nice crisp clean image, this is perfect for you. Now these A and N here, these letters, they're really hard to get a nice crisp clean stamp from, plus the fact that my memento is pretty dry. So I'm going to ink it up again, and I'm going to stamp it again. So you could do that as many times as you need to, and now this image is awesome. So the great thing is I could go and do this another 1,000 times, knowing that if I put my cardstock up in that corner and leave my stamp where it is, that's where it's going to stamp on that cardstock every single time. So that works well for single stamps. If I was going to do a number of stamps, it will work in 2-step and 3-step stamping, which I'll show you now. It's going to work perfectly every time. So let me put that away and take that one off. And I'm going to bring out my little baby bear set. So this is a 3-step stamp that you have to stamp over each other, and you need to get it to line up right for it to look good. So it's a beautiful stamp set, and I've used it heaps of times, but it can get a bit frustrating trying to line it up. So this is what I'm going to do. My first one, which is the more solid one, it doesn't really matter which way you stamp them. If you like to do the least detailed first, that's fine, whatever you like. Once again, I'm going to butt it up that corner, and first of all I'm going to put my foam down because it's photopolymer. Okay, so there we go, that's where it's going to be. So here's my biggest one. I'm going to do my lightest colour. So this is just crumb cake. Stick on there. Okay, so with crumb cake, alright, so it moved a little bit there. I think I need my other magnet. Oh, the mess I have on my desk. Get the other one off here. Put that up there. So I got a little bit of funkiness. I think it's because I've got an air bubble under my stamp here. Let's see if I can fix that up. Okay. Now I can leave that one there and get my second bear, which is this one. Hard to tell. Now photopolymer, I can see through here, so I can line up this bear. So normally I would have to put this on a block, ink it up, and then try and figure out where to go. But now it's nice and clean stamp. I can spend a bit of time lining this up exactly where it's supposed to go over the top. Now hopefully this will work, because when I'm not on camera I have a bit more time to actually make sure that is in the right spot. Now my second layer of colour is going to be soft suede, but it's going to be soft suede stamp off, because I'm going to do my top layer as soft suede. So to do that I'm just going to ink him up, just some scrap paper, and do a stamp off. and stamp. And there we go. So you can see I've got a whole bunch of ink on here, and it didn't come on here because it won't get on there, but if you just want to clean it up with some wet wipe, it comes straight off. Okay, so that's my second level. Now my third level, so I've used these two plates, but I can just lift this one out and turn it. I haven't cleaned this stamp over here yet, so I'm just going to place some scrap there. Get my last layer of the bear. Spend some time looking through and lining that up. Now obviously no pressures of camera, I've got plenty of time and can get my head right over that. I don't want to put my head in the camera view. And with my last layer of soft suede, alright, so there's my bear. Now he's not lined up perfectly. As I said, if I had a little bit more time and been able to put my head down straight over, I'd be able to line it up. He is actually pretty good. I would use this. I wouldn't throw this away because he is pretty good. But I can see he's just not quite lined up. So you just spend a little bit of extra time lining the stamp over each other, and you're going to end up with some perfect ones. I can't even find the ones that I did. Yeah. You can see they are lined up absolutely perfect, and I was able to just bang 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 out a whole bunch. Even if I wanted to use different colours, I just clean the stamp off with a wet wipe and do a bunch of different colours at the same time. But he works out absolutely perfect. Now the last thing I want to show you, and it's not the only thing left to show you, there's heaps left, lots of things you can do, but I just wanted to quickly show you guys what you can do with it. Let me just clean all this mess from the bear off. And the last thing I want to show you guys is the hinge stepping, which is really cool. Works really well with this stamp set, with these words, and it's because it's the size of the stamp in comparison to the size of the hinges. So it's not going to work as perfect like this for all stamps, but it can, because you can work it out with the grid on how far to move your paper and have it completely lined up. So you can still have it lined up on this line, but move it down, and it's going to be, you know, 2 squares down, so you could keep going like that. But this stamp set works really well with the size of these hinges. Oh, I've got brown ink on my fingers. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is just the lovely stamp set from the set, is pick it up right there and ink it up, stamp, we get a beautiful one here. Now I'm going to just pick it up and move it down 1 hinge, ink it up again, stamp again. Now it turned out a little bit funky there, so I can just ink that up again, and that's a better stamp. Okay, and then down 1, and so I could just do this all the way down, and I'm going to get beautifully lined up stamp all the way down. So as you can see, that didn't quite work out. I can just stamp that again, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So you can do this with the same colour. I could then just stamp this down, not re-ink, do stamp off, which looks awesome. I can even do another one, and you can just keep going. The other thing you can do is do multiple colours like this one. So these are going to be awesome cards. So as you can see, that's so quick and easy to do. I absolutely love it. So there's lots of other things we can do. I'll show in a different video. Die cutting. Oh, that's my magnets again. Don't put the magnets next to each other. It's really easy to die cut. Instead of having to stamp and then go to the die cutting machine with a framelit to cut it out, you can just do it like this, where you stamp, take it to the Big Shot, cut it out. With the cutout, pull it out, and go cut another blank one out from the Big Shot, put it in where the first one came out, and you'll stamp in exactly the same spot. So I won't show that now, I will show that in another video, but I just wanted to quickly show you guys how simple and easy it is to use. As you can see, I'm not a professional. Anyone can use this and obtain really great results with their stampings.